Hey everyone, it's December 4th, 2024, about 2:17 or so in the afternoon. I've already uploaded a test video um, 'cause I was just trying to see how this software is working for recording these videos. So here I'm going to do a little bit of mapping on my U.S.S enforcer. So let me load that up right now. I'm running Max 2015, 3D Studio Max 2015. You can see it right here up at the top, right here. We can continue with that. We don't need that. So a little bit of background on this ship. Let me zoom out. For those of you who are Star Trek fans, you will notice that this is a Miranda Class starship. Let me unhide everything else. And for those of you with a very keen eye, you're going to see that there are some changes to this particular ship. Now, this ship, the U.S.S. Enforcer, is a concept that I had started back in 2010, around the same time that I was nearing completion on my U.S.S. Resurrection, which was my concept of a 25th century refit Constitution class starship. These days, it's that particular ship has gotten a lot of attention, thanks mostly to another YouTuber, Retro Badger Gaming, and MSR 1701. They have really done a lot of work to kind of bring some more attention to my ship that that's now what, 12 years since it was released. It was released back in 2012. I had finished all the modeling work on it in 2010, which is around the same time that I started on this ship. I took a long hiatus on 3D modeling, mainly because I started working, doing what I could to get my career off the ground. That's another story. But anyway, this here, the Enforcer, is my concept of a 24th century Dominion War refit. My original intentions was to get this ship ready for use in Star Trek Starfleet Command versions 3 and Orion Pirates, if anybody wanted for Orion Pirates, and also for Star Trek Bridge Commander. So you can see the notable changes are, instead of ball turrets in a pair, you have phaser arrays top and bottom, phaser arrays right here on the side. Let me bring that in a bit. Right here, phaser arrays. You have phaser arrays on the top of the roll bar, and then phaser arrays on the bottom of the saucer, right there. The torpedo pod, which would normally be right here at the center of the roll bar, has been replaced with a main deflector array, and where a lot of people call them mega phasers have now been relocated, or replaced I should say, with twin weapons pods. Each pod has 4 NF firing torpedoes and 4 NF firing phaser cannons. And then also down here I added 2 mini deflectors as a redundancy, and I kind of redid the pylons a bit. Now, with a lot of renewed interest in Bridge Commander and also some renewing interest in Starfleet Command, I want to get this ship finished. One of the major challenges I had from when I stopped working on it before to today was that up until just recently I did not know how to do any kind of UVW mapping. A good friend of mine, Michael Wiley, taught me a quick method, and it works just fine. As you can see, I've already done some mapping on the ship. I use a checkered grid pattern to take care of my alignment. It's been a lot of trial and error, and I kind of had a feeling from 14 years ago that it was going to be nothing but trial and error, even once I finally got the hang of it. Ignore some of the shading or whatever; those are smoothing group issues. I never could figure out how to sort those out, but those should be taken care of in the final conversion over to the game formats. At least I'm hoping. Texturing is not within my wheelhouse. So if anybody's thinking, "Oh, what's it going to look like? Why don't you start texturing now?" Nope. That's beyond my skill still. I have a couple friends I'm trying to reach out to see if they're still active, to see if maybe, just maybe, they might be interested in doing the texturing for this ship. As you can see, I've done a lot of mapping. This whole section right here, the main hull right here, that's all one piece. So it's all one piece going from the rim of the saucer to the back end to the shuttle bays and the impulse engines. The bridge module has already been mapped. I haven't fully mapped this section right here. So let's take care of that right now. Real quick. I don't want to make this video too long. So let us... Okay, sensor dome. Now our navigation dome. Main hull. And let's hide unselected. Now, if I remember correctly, all that was left to be mapped was basically this right here. All this right here. So, nav dome. Now, the purpose of this video is mostly to kind of start showing how I do things. One thing I learned a long time ago is that when it comes to 3D modeling, there is God knows how many different ways to make the exact same piece, the exact same object, the exact same model. There's dozens and dozens of different ways depending on the type of software you're using and all the tools that are available and your own level of skill and expertise. My skill, my level of expertise is still more like that of a novice, and as you can see, this isn't exactly a nice smooth model all around. This is meant for a game model, and most especially meant for a game that is now what over 20 years old. So bear with me. Let's see here. Again, this is a method that my friend Wiley showed me. Do we have ignore back facing on? No, we do not. Okay. Just going about it, just selecting all the polygons, all the faces individually. Oh, and just in case if anybody's wondering, I am from the United States. Born and bred United States citizen, second generation. Living here in Los Angeles, California. Born and bred. Now, here's a question that I'm thinking about. See this inner rim right here? That little inner rim right there? It's so small, I don't really think it needs any I don't think it really needs to be separated from the rest of the model. I mean, from the rest of the part that I've already got selected. I think I can select that all and have it all mapped together. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I could be wrong. But hey, because this is such a small section, I don't think it'll matter. It's like really, really small detail. I really don't think it'll matter. So let's just all lump it together. And we can get all that mapping done. Now, if I remember correctly, I think I had this listed, or not listed, but mapped onto my bottom hull map. I don't always get a chance to do this kind of work. If it's not one thing, it's another. So these video posts will probably be sporadic. So we just hit M to bring up the material editor here. Okay, here we have bottom. This is how it was taught to me. So hey, for those of you who are like, oh no, you're doing it wrong. Nope, this is how it was taught to me. They throw it on here, boom. Throw in unwrap UVW. Get rid of that for a minute. And open the UV editor. And for those of you wondering, I'm working on my laptop, so bear with me. Alright, so as you can see here, I have already done some mapping. The hell is that? Let me see. Okay. That's the sensor base, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that looks good. I want to move it. There we are. I just want to see the alignment. Because I want to see how it's aligned right here. I'm looking for the arrows in that checker pattern. For those of you who are professionals or who have done this type of thing about 500 million times already, this is nothing new. And again, you're probably saying, oh my God, no, why is he doing it that way? This is a more efficient way. Why doesn't he know how to, hey, like I said, there's what? How many different ways you can do the same thing? Okay, so I'm looking for this. For those of you who don't know. And it looks like the arrows are going in the right direction, but it's mirrored. So let's bring that up again. Tools, flip horizontal, that should do it. Now again, I'm using 3D Studio Max version 2015. This model and all of its components were created originally in 3D Studio Max version 9, and the majority of that work was done in 2010. So just to recap. So as I can see right here, looks like the alignment's good. Nothing is mirrored. Everything's showing up okay. I want to zoom out just a bit because I want to see, okay. So the arrows are going in this direction, but all the arrows are going in that direction. Okay, so let me see about, whoops, a little too low. No, wait a minute. That should do it. If I did my job right, it is now 100 degrees, 180 degrees rotated. There we are. Okay, so I'll just kill that, cancel, get that out. Alright, so now it's just a matter of resizing this. Can I put this here? I'll put this here. Increase the size a bit. Maybe put it right there. Maybe get a little smaller. Because it doesn't need that much detail, and this is a 2048 by 2048 map. So maybe put it there. I can put the rest of the sensor dome here and here. That'll work for me. Alright, so we do that. We render UVW template. Change the dimensions to 2048 by 2048. Oh, and whoops, wrong one. Render UV template right there. And I'm going to render this. Where is U.S.S. enforcer mapping? Put it as a PNG. Bot 6. And that's it. And then what I'll do is that's what I'll do. Collapse all. Yes. Boom. Save this real quick. 24. Because every little change I make, I always save. So that should do that right there. And then let's finish up here. Oops, no. Ignore back facing. Now, should anybody be watching this that has any kind of experience with compiling plugins for 3D Studio Max. If they want to do me a big favor, hey, post in the comments section, because I actually have the source code for the old Starfleet Command plugins for both importing and exporting. I have tried my hand at trying to compile some new plugins for newer versions of Max, but I have failed miserably. If you would like to give it a try, I am more than willing to get you the source code. In fact, it's readily available for download. Most people don't even know it. It's part of the download for the 3D Studio, the Starfleet Command plugins for 3D Studio Max versions 3, 4, and 5. It's in the version 3 folder. That's how far back this baby goes. Okay, so we got that. Throw that back on there. You unwrap UVW. Open UVW header. Bot. Let's open up Photoshop real quick. Now, you don't need to use Photoshop. Any photo editing software that you have access to will be just as viable, as long as you can work in layers and channels. I found out earlier this year, about a little over a month ago, that they are still actually making new versions of Corel Paint Shop Pro. Now, Paint Shop Pro was a very, very, very powerful image editing software that rivaled Photoshop in virtually every single measure that you can think of, and it was a mere fraction of the cost. For those of you, though, who love and cherish open source programs, GIMP, from what I hear, is the best alternative to Photoshop there is on the freeware side. Alrighty. As you can see, I got a lot of stuff here. This is all different things from over the years. From, you can go in as far back as my early kit bashing days, because I used to be a kit basher. Bottom right here. And we just made bottom 6. Just gonna wait for that to load. I apologize for the load times. This laptop is about 2 years old and it has seen quite a bit of use. I have been thinking about snatching a solid state drive and doing a hard drive upgrade, but money is also kind of tight. They are cheaper these days, I will admit that. Alright, so select all, copy merged, put that there. Then where is that? Magic eraser tool right there. Boom. File save. Oh, forgot to okay, file save as. In the same folder, we're doing JPEGs for now. Boom. So with that, we come back here. There we are. Okay, so we got that. Planar. Let's move this down. Again, let's check for alignment. So my arrow is going to be pointing towards my lower right. So I'm going to have to rotate the alignment 180 degrees and then flip it, and it should render properly. Okay, so let's kill that render. There we are. Flip horizontal. Whoops. Zoom in right there. Do a test render. Already I can see we have a proper alignment. Now I just got to resize it and put it in the proper position. I know I could have done a better job of utilizing space on this map, but it is what it is. Also, I have some other bits and pieces that I want to fit on here on the same map, so it's not too bad. And I'll probably do that in the next video, because I don't want to make this video too long. I think we're good right there. Maybe just a smidge more. There we are. And right there. One more render just for my own curiosity. Yep. Perfect. I can kill that render right there. Render UVW plate 2048. 2048. PNG because we want a transparent background. Bot 7. Kill that. Kill that. I'll save this one right now just in case. Save as mapping 25. Then bring in bot 7. Don't need that anymore. New layer. drag it down, put that there, select all, copy merged, come back into my main file again, paste, and then magic eraser the black background out. Voila. Save my work in my master file, and save a copy as JPEG. Replace yes. That's fine. And collapse all. All right. That should be done. So as you can see, the mapping is holding. It looks good. We checked our alignment with the checkered pattern. Again, I know there are going to be people out there that know a lot more than me that are telling me I'm doing it wrong. That's fine. When it comes to mapping, this is something I just learned recently over the last few months. Been taking my sweet time about getting the rest of this stuff done, but everything looks good, everything's holding, and I'm happy with it. So that's where I'm pretty much going to end this video. I'll go ahead and unhide everything again. And I'll give you a slight render right here. Yeah. So the plan here is the roll bar is going to be its own separate map. Well, I'm going to combine the roll bar with the pylons. The weapons pods will also go in there too. The main deflector and the two secondary deflectors will make up their own map. Phasers, their own map. Not going to be that big, maybe 256 by 256, won't be that bad. They don't really need a lot of definition. And then the warp engines are going to be on their own map. And you can see several components over here on the bottom side of the ship have yet to be mapped. I was planning on putting this section right here onto the same map that the bottom half of the saucer and the navigation dome are located on. So I'm going to be I'm thinking about mapping this section right here onto the same map. And then these two, like these vents or whatever the hell they are, I never could figure it out, will probably get mapped onto the same map as the pylons and roll bar. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, my level of 3D modeling can still be best labeled as novice. The only other ship that I have released fully is the U.S.S. Resurrection. Again, big thanks to Retro Badger Gaming and MSR 1701. They're both over here on this on YouTube. I did not know either of those gentlemen before any of this. I got to know them somewhat through YouTube when all of a sudden I started seeing my old ship being used in a whole bunch of Bridge Commander gameplay videos. I never thought the ship would ever be as popular as it is now. People love it. That was the only ship that I ever made myself from scratch to ever get released. I have a whole bunch of other ships in various stages of completion or reconstruction. I have done a ton of kit bashes for Starfleet Command 3. This was about 20 years ago. My username back then was first Dayhawk, Daihak, and then later Centaurus. Notable ships would probably be the previous kit bash of the Resurrection, the U.S.S. Chabot, the Bellerophon, which was my TNG Akula, and a whole bunch of different ships here and there. I was the one that did the kit bashing for the Chandra. If you're wondering what that is, basically think of a Constitution with an Ambassador saucer and warp engines. That was me. I did the kit bashing on that one. And those were the days when I was still using Wicked Zombies ships as parts and inspiration. Alright, so I'm going to leave it here. I thank you guys for watching. Give me your comments. Tell me what you think. But be polite. I will delete comments that are rude and disrespectful.